global inflationary pressures. Dr. Tijani assured citizens that the government was working to mitigate the impact of tariff hikes on Nigerians through targeted measures. The state government has restated its commitment to partnering private organizations that would genuinely make meaningful contributions to the development of the state. The state deputy governor, Samande Oyeme, stated this during a meeting with the management of an oil company, MECO and Marine Holdings Nigeria Limited, in his office at Government House, Asaba. He said when private organizations contribute to the development of community, there would be peace and progress that would reduce the developmental burden of communities on the state government. The deputy governor said the government was willing to give the necessary support to the company to carry out its assignment, noting that Deltans would be the primary beneficiaries of the project. He urged oil companies operating within the state to carry out their corporate social responsibilities in their host communities. Earlier, the managing director and chief executive officer of the MECO and Marine Holdings, Chief George Buckner, said the visit was informed by the need for the company to support the host communities producing oil and gas in the state. Chief Buckner said the company would ensure that the host communities enjoy direct social and economic benefits of oil operations to ensure effective implementation of the submission of the needs assessment plan of the community within the timelines prescribed in the applicable laws. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has revealed that it will be introducing 3 new indexes in its monthly consumer price index. This was revealed at the sensitization workshop on GDP and CPI rebasing organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the NBS in Lagos. In October last year, the NBS announced plans to rebase the GDP and CPI to reflect current realities and account for structural changes in the company, as the new additions were expected to be part of the rebased CPI. The head of price statistics at the NBS, Dr. Ayo Andrew, in his presentation said, apart from its normal headline inflation, core inflation, food inflation, the basics they were going to include in the new CPI rebased that would be released this month was another index that has never been released. 3 children abducted from Bauchi State and sold in Anambra State have been rescued and reunited with their families in a formal handover ceremony. The feat was reportedly achieved through the combined efforts of the Bauchi and Anambra State Police Commands, with support of the Office of the First Lady and the Gender-Based Violence Committee. The handover ceremony took place at the Bauchi Government House, where the Bauchi State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mohammed Musa, briefed the governor on the details of the operation. In his address, the state governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, expressed gratitude to all involved in the rescue, especially the wives of the governors of Bauchi and Anambra State, for their unwavering commitment to combating child trafficking and abuse. He lauded security agencies for their professionalism and pledged the government's continued resolve to ensuring the safety and welfare of children. The governor called on parents to remain vigilant, emphasizing the importance of proper child upbringing, even as he urged community leaders to actively supervise and protect their communities, reiterating the shared responsibility in safeguarding children. The families of the rescued children expressed gratitude to the government and all stakeholders involved as hope and joy were restored to their lives. The management of Christ Methodist School in Ikorodu, Lagos, has placed an indefinite suspension on its teacher, Stella Nwadigo, filmed assaulting a toddler in a numeracy class. The drastic decision, the school management revealed, was triggered by public outrage that trailed a viral video that surfaced on social media, showing a primary school teacher violently smacking a toddler for failing a numeracy lesson. In a statement released by the school authorities, the school expressed its concerns over the viral footage and described the teacher's action as unacceptable and contrary to the values and principles of their school. It said the teacher has been suspended indefinitely until the investigation was finalized. The school authorities stressed that the immediate and decisive action reflects its zero-tolerance policy towards misconduct and its obligation to safeguard the safety and well-being of every child under its care. As part of its effort to ensure that such behavior would not be repeated, the school revealed that it will be organizing mandatory training sessions for teachers to reinforce child protection protocols, emphasize positive disciplinary practices, and cultivate greater sensitivity in interactions with students. The end-of-year activities of the Association of Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries, Delta State Chapter, will begin tomorrow with visitation to patients at the Asaba Specialist Hospital. A statement signed by Secretary of the body, Sir Paul Evarere, says the visitation commences at 10:30 in the morning. According to the statement, the end-of-year activities will continue on Sunday, January 12, with a Thanksgiving service at the St. John Mary Vianney Catholic Church, DBS Road, Asaba, at 8:30 in the morning, to be followed at 11:30 in the morning at a get-together at the Association of Senior Civil Servants Hall, Brian Babangida Way, Asaba. The statement has requested members to be present and punctual at all activities. Still to come, U.S. President-elect prepares to acquire Greenland. Stay with us.
Upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one. Unbelievable, right? Or with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
Stay confident, stay focused, breathe through it with TomTom.
The Global Sitters next as we join our World News Desk.
Germany and France have issued a stern warning to the U.S. incoming president, Mr. Donald Trump, against any attempt to take over the Greenland. Reports say that Mr. Trump has repeatedly expressed his desire to acquire Greenland, stating that the Danish-administered Arctic island was critical for national and economic security. The president-elect was said to have considered the idea during his first term in 2019, although Greenland had been pushing for independence from Denmark. The territory had reiterated that it was not for sale. Denmark, which was a long-time U.S. ally, had also said Greenland was not for sale, noting that the island belonged to its inhabitants. Mr. Trump emphasized his preparedness to use economic tariffs or military might to seize control of Greenland. According to a statement yesterday, Germany's Chancellor, Mr. Olaf Scholz, said Mr. Trump's remarks had sparked incomprehension among European leaders. Earlier, French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said Europe would stand up in defense of international law. The renewed U.S. interest in Greenland, particularly in the lead-up to Mr. Trump's inauguration, has highlighted growing tensions within NATO. This came as Russia and China work to shift the global balance of power in their favor, exposing divisions within the alliance. One of India's richest temples has apologized after a crush killed 6 persons and injured dozens. The stampede took place last night after thousands gathered at the Tirupati temple in the southern Andhra Pradesh state for tickets to a special festival. Visuals showed a swell of people jostling while the tickets were being distributed at counters set up by temple authorities. Officials in the state have said strict actions will be taken against temple employees who were found responsible for the tragedy. B. Naidu, chairman of the temple's trust, said the crush was caused by overcrowding, describing it as an unfortunate incident. Banu Prakash Reddy, a board member of the trust, apologized for the incident, adding that it had never happened in the history of the temple. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has expressed his sorrow over the incident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was pained by the sad event and assured those affected that the state government would offer them all possible assistance. The Tirupati Temple in Andhra Pradesh is one of Hinduism's most sacred shrines. Authorities say those injured in the crush were rushed to a government-run hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, the world's second-largest economy has been facing several challenges, including weak consumer demand and a deepening property crisis. This has led Chinese government to enlist products that people could trade on to get a discount of 20%, especially on new goods, as the country worked towards boosting its economy. The products include microwave ovens, dishwashers, rice cookers, and water purifiers. The state-backed trade-in schemes already cover televisions, phones, tablets, smartwatches, electric and hybrid vehicles. Officials yesterday said $11 billion had been earmarked this year for the consumer goods trade-in scheme. China's top economic planning body has said the schemes, which were launched in March, have started to yield results. According to the country's Minister of Commerce, the policies have boosted sales of big-ticket items such as home appliances and cars. Some economists have, however, questioned whether the schemes will be enough to significantly increase consumer demand.
Let's now join our business news desk with stories in the world of business.
China Development Bank has released a $254.76 million loan to Nigeria for a railway project linking the two northern states of Kano and Kaduna State. The bank announced this ahead of a visit by China's top diplomat during the week. The construction of the Kaduna to Kano rail project, which was expected to cost $973 million, has been slowed by funding delays. China Development Bank in its statement noted on its website that the loan would provide financial support for the smooth progress of the 203-kilometer standard gauge railway. The National Assembly first approved China's Exim Bank as a financier of the rail project in 2020, but the bank later withdrew. In another development, capital importation rose by 224% year-on-year to $9.04 billion in the first 10 months of 2024, from $2.9 billion in the same period of 2023, indicating increased foreign investment in the country. Analysis of data from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) economic report for the period showed that capital outflows also grew by 77.5% year-on-year to $8.24 billion and $10 million in 2024 from $4.64 billion in 2023. Quarter-on-quarter capital inflows fell by 21.2% to $2.6 billion in the second quarter and $3.3 billion in the first quarter of 2024. The downward trend continued in the third quarter in 2024 as capital inflows fell by 51.9% to $1.25 billion, while October capital inflows rose sharply by 372.5% month to month to $1.89 billion from $400 million in September. Further analysis of the data showed that capital inflows rose by 32.7% quarter-on-quarter to $3 billion in second quarter 2024 from $2.26 billion in the first quarter of 2024 and down by 7.6% to $2.08 billion in the third quarter of 2024. However, in October, capital outflows rose by 90.4% month on month to $800 million from $670 million in September. The CBN in its October economic report noted that the month-on-month increase in capital inflows was driven mainly by increased portfolio investment in both equity and money market instruments.
Back home, the State Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, has condoled former Commissioner Barrister Ernest Ogweji on the death of his father, High Chief Godwin Ogweji of Imo Ubudeti community in Imo Kingdom, Nduka West local government area. The Deputy Governor, who visited Barrister Ernest Ogweji at his residence in Kwale, Nduka West local government area, said the death of a father was painful. Saragimi, accompanied by the member representing Nduka West constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Charles Emetulu, Commissioner for Urban Renewal, Engineer Mike Anoka, PDP Chairman, Delta North Senatorial District, Deputy Chief of Staff, Sir Ifeanyi Osakwe, among others, said his father lived a successful life. He described Barrister Ernest Ogweji as a strong member of the PDP, team player, and a politician of note. Hence, the visit assuring that they would rally round him to give his father a befitting burial. Barrister Ernest Ogweji said he was overwhelmed by the visit of the Deputy Governor and his entourage to commiserate with him and his family on the death of his father. He described the visit as a show of love, adding that he had the opportunity to be with him before his passage at the age of over 104 years old without any health challenge. The Deputy Governor also visited the Umo Sagede community in Kwale to condole with the Onyenike family on the demise of their father, Chief Lucky Osa Onyenike. Condoling the family, the Deputy Governor noted that Chief Lucky Onyenike took him like a son and was dear to him. He told the children to be consoled by the fact that their late father lived a good life. Responding on behalf of the family, Chief Dennis Oko thanked the Deputy Governor for the condolence visit. And now, our thought for today. If your presence was not felt, your absence would not be missed. And on that inspiring and sober note, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. But before we go, a quick look at our major stories. President Bola Tinubu has urged the military to proactively take the war against insurgency to the camps of bandits and terrorists. President Tinubu gave the charge following the recent attacks on the military base in Damboa, Borno State, where some soldiers lost their lives. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, has announced that telecom tariffs will increase, though not by 100%, being proposed by operators. Dr. Tijani disclosed this to newsmen after a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. The state government has restated its commitment to partnering private organizations that would genuinely make meaningful contributions to the development of the state. The state deputy governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, stated this during a meeting with the management of an oil company, MECO and Marine Holdings Nigeria Limited, in his office at Government House, Asaba. And from the foreign scene, we reported that U.S. President-elect prepares to acquire the Greenland. And that's the news. Many thanks for being part of it. My name is Francis Ofulue. Have a lovely evening and good night.
upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one. Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop